This video is dedicated to the Canipa FX Patreon subscriber Little Crow, who bestows upon us their message, be excellent to each other. One of the best moments you can have with anime is showing someone a beautifully crafted scene, having them ask, is this from a TV series? Is it a film? Can I watch it on Netflix? Only for it to be revealed as an ad for something entirely unrelated. Anime is kind of mainstream when it comes to Tokyo. This doesn't mean that every anime has some kind of popularity, but it means that the specific medium of anime is familiar to many people. This means that large corporations such as McDonald's can pay Studio Colorido to develop their new branding campaign and have those anime posters within all of their stores. And it's allowed companies like Nissin Cup Noodles to bring on some of the best in the business to create anime that is far too good for such a boring brand of cup noodles. This is genuinely a spotlight on the staff involved in creating a series of cup noodle commercials so good that they deserve to be movies.
You know something? Going through all that trouble to make our own custom cup, it's made me appreciate cup noodles even more.
Perhaps we truly can't improve upon perfection.
It's not about finding the single best ingredient. It's about crafting that perfect blend of meat, egg, and shrimp. That harmony of flavors is key.
Yeah, you're right. Makes you appreciate how delicious these noodles really are.
I know I sure do.
Full disclosure, I think Nissin Cup Noodles are bland and boring. Personally, I go for a cup of Shin Ramyun, the one they got Sazae to promote.
Oppan Gangnam Style 신라면 블랙.
How far he's fallen. But when it comes to anime, everyone is busy. Studios are producing anime that was planned years ago and their schedules are already booked out for years to come. Therefore, there's a set of teams that are regularly approached for work on commercials. We'll talk a bit more about advertising companies in a future video on Pop Team Epic, but what I wanted to focus on are the teams that created the Nissin Cup Noodles Hungry Days campaign. There were two main directors between 4 Hungry Days commercials, and you probably haven't heard of either of them. Their names are Yusuke Takase and Shoya Nagisawa. You probably haven't seen the work of Yusuke Takase before unless you're a big Japanese condom enthusiast, because he created this short film for Okamoto about a condom dispenser belt. It actually won him a healthcare award for his promotion of safe sex. On the other end of the spectrum, you've almost definitely seen the work of Shoya Nagisawa, since the chances are that you were one of the 44 million people who watched his announcement trailer for Pokemon Go. For his work on the Pokemon Go trailer and the Gravity Rush 2 short film Gravity Cat, he's become one of the most awarded commercial directors in Japan. Additionally, animator Masanobu Hiraoka created both the announcement and the finale ads for Hungry Days, creating fluid and beautiful 2D animation to reflect on all the things we'd learnt about youth and cup noodles. He's actually an independent filmmaker, and last year he also created both of the ending sequences to Little Witch Academia. But for now, let's dive into Kiki's delivery service by Shoya Nagisawa. I mentioned that anime was mainstream in Tokyo, and so Hungry Days managed to attach itself to popular characters and brands. In this case, it was Kiki's delivery service. Now, the biggest problem with these ads is that they are ads, and it's very difficult to appreciate the individual elements of them. For example, there are 14 backgrounds in this ad, and some of them appear for less than a second. The backgrounds are by one of my favourite artists in the industry, Yusuke Takeda, who is currently working on The Ancient Magus' Bride, and you can see that he always strives for detail, even in this shot which only appears for a fraction of a second. There is only one key animator credited for this ad, meaning that animation director Yuichi Takahashi did all of the 2D animation here. He's previously been known as the chief animation director on Gatchaman Crowds, and notably animated the entire opening for Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology last year. The second ad focuses on Heidi, a character that was adapted into Heidi, Girl of the Alps by Isao Takehata in 1974. If you're wondering what's up with the character designs in Hungry Days, it's because the campaign is a collab with the mangaka Eisaku Kubonochi, who redesigned all of these classic characters for the ad. This film in particular shows off the skills of Attack on Titan compositing director Kazuhiro Yamada really well, especially when it comes to these shots with a moving camera. Remember, these are directors who are used to real-life cameras, so it's up to talented compositing teams to give them the same sort of freedom in animation. The third ad is the only one to feature characters who are still on TV today. This is Sazae-san, who normally looks like this, and her anime currently has over 6,000 episodes. Like the other two, she's a cultural icon within Japan. This ad was the first by Yusuke Takase, the condom ad guy, and he brought along a friend from his condom ad days to do the 3D direction. Kota Moria. Now, the last time I talked about this guy in my Land of the Lustrous video, I showed an indecent video of two T-Rexes having sex that he created for Okamoto. I would like to sincerely apologise and promise never to use that video again. After this. I will never play that video again, and that's almost a promise. Now, it's probably worth mentioning that Hungry Days is produced at Tatsunoko Production overall, but due to the amount of 3D and digital effects, their role isn't always as relevant due to all of the other teams involved. But this ad in particular is pretty heavy with 2D character animation like Kiki, and many of the staff were connected with Tatsunoko. The last one is just called Final, and isn't actually based on anything at all. Instead, it's about two young people awkwardly expressing their love, and they're so distracted by each other's presence that they don't notice that the entire world is ending around them. The character animation is done by Kota Moria's company, whilst the world ending is actually produced by a company called Slanted. Like most within the Hungry Days project, they haven't worked in anime before, and spend most of their time doing what most 3D studios do: making car commercials. Cars are one of the things that have been pretty much perfected by the 3D industry at large, so when a manufacturer wants to shoot a commercial, it's very rare that they use an actual car, because it's cheaper to pay a CG company than it is to do an actual film shoot with a real vehicle. This fact was alluded to in an episode of Shirobako, where the company Todo worked for only created 3D models of cars. So for people like Todo, bored with creating the same thing over and over again, the opportunity to create this explosive background with elemental creatures must have been great fun. Although admittedly, some of the models they made only stayed on screen for a fraction of a second, like this blue monster. Like the others, Final is one of those productions that you just want to see expanded into something more but don't quite know what. Like with the backgrounds in Kiki's delivery service, it zooms past some incredibly impressive work. It's for this reason that I really appreciate behind the scenes videos, because they give a human element to it all, whilst allowing the audience to explore a little bit deeper into the worlds they've created. HMV did an exhibition of the mangaka's character illustrations, but I'd really love to see more from the artists and 3D teams who helped construct something really special. They may not be my favourite cup noodles, but they're certainly my favourite anime commercials. Thanks for watching Canipa Effect, but before I go, I'd like to thank these wonderful people for supporting the channel. In particular, I'd like to thank the friendly faux wizard, the captivating Christopher Wade, the yummy Yako guards. There really aren't enough Y adjectives. The angelic Austin Hardwick, the lucrative Little Crow, the marvellous Mike Tamborelli, the interesting Isaac Wu, the hardy Hamad, the friendly Frogkun, and literally my own mother. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to support the channel, please consider visiting patreon.com/thecanipa effect.